In this next video, we're going to take a look again at the ScanLogic Basic, but we're going to do a couple of other functions. Let's say that we've enrolled a number of fingerprints, and we now want to remove those fingerprints. In this case, I've enrolled user 2 with a code, and I want to remove the fingerprints that are associated with user 2. Now, since user 2 has up to 5 fingerprints available to it, removing the fingerprints through this process will delete all 5 fingerprints. So here's how we do that. We first of all enter either the fingerprint of this user 2 or the code of the user 2. Let's go ahead and enter the code. So we know the code is 343434. It'll open. Now I press and hold the minus button. And once I get that second set of beeps, that shows that that fingerprint has been removed. If I were to place my finger on there now, it won't open. So that's how you delete your own fingerprints, the fingerprints associated with the user code or fingerprint that you entered in order to begin this process. If I wanted to remove user 1 fingerprints, I would do the same thing, entering the user 1 fingerprint or the user 1 code, and then I would press and hold the minus sign to get the 2 beeps, and that would delete all the fingerprints associated with the user 1 code. Same thing with the manager code. If I wanted to delete the fingerprints for the manager code, I would use his fingerprint or code, pressing the minus sign, and that would delete all of those fingerprints also. All right, the next thing we're going to take a look at is let's remove users. So we've removed user 2's fingerprints, but his code is still there. So I can still enter 343434, which is the user 2 code, and I can open the save. Now, how do we remove a user? So here's how we remove the user. Remember, we have a manager, user 1, and a user 2. In order to remove user 2 from this lock, we enter user 1's code or fingerprint, and then we press and hold the number 3 button. So let's do that. This is the user 1 fingerprint. So we can place it on here to open the safe, and now we can press and hold the number 3 button, and that will delete user 2's code. So let's try that. 343434, and you'll see it gives an error message, that long beep and the red lights up here. That means that that code is not valid. So we've effectively removed user 2 using the user 1 fingerprint or code. So now let's take a look at how you delete all users from the lock. So the manager could delete user number 1 and user number 2 if he was still in this lock by following the following process. And how we do that is either by using the manager's fingerprint and opening the lock, and then pressing and holding the number 3. That'll delete all of the user 1 and user 2 information from the lock, both codes and fingerprints. It will leave the manager code in the lock as set, as well as the manager fingerprints. So here's how we do that. Let's go ahead and enter the code for the manager, 654321. Press and hold the number 3. Wait for the 2 beeps. And now with those 2 beeps, we know the codes have been cleared. Let's go ahead and try the user 1 code. And it gives you those red lights and the long beep that says this is an invalid code. Now, let's check to see if the manager code is still in its position where it was set. So 654321, and that lock opens. So that's how you manage and remove or delete fingerprints and codes on the ScanLogic Basic by SecureRAM.